Welcome everyone to this recorded session of backtesting. As you can see, I've already got some key levels mapped out. I'm going to probably do around an hour, but let's just break down some of the things that we've determined already. Institutional order flow appears to the upside. We can see how price is traded into the fair value gap, the BISI daily, and rejected and traded away, targeting the external to internal to external range liquidity. So potential opportunities from a continuous model scenario to the highs. Likely that the highs are going to be taken out. As we can see, we've got the aligned highs marked up, dropping down to the 4 hour. Dropping down to the 4 hour, we can see that price was respecting the BISI H4 here. By the way, this back testing is we're looking at year 2021, sorry, year 2022, and we're using FX Replay as the back testing software. Okay, so yes, as detailed, we see the H4. There has been SMT at the lows, which would have been a driver for seeing higher prices. So we're looking at Tuesday, in which we have some high impact news at 10 o'clock, ISM manufacturing PMI. Currently it's 2 AM, so we will be cycling through to 7 AM. So some of the backtesting rules. Number one, I'm only going to trade my high probability trade model. So okay, so there won't be the continuation model or anything of that, and that's going to be and ultimately there's not going to be a high probability trade model plus. It's purely going to be high probability. Actually, no. We will look at the high probability trade model plus in the event that a specific scenario presents itself. Okay. We will be trading the high probability trade model again with the various criteria that surround that. Okay. Okay, so that's going to be ultimately one of the main parameters. Number two, we're only trading New York. Okay. Now that can be New York AM or PM, preferably AM, but if we believe that a PM session PM session trade is likely, then naturally we will look at the PM to frame a trade. And number 3, we're not trading Mondays and I do want to say and not trading Fridays as well, but we'll reserve Friday, but we're certainly not trading Monday. So we may add to these rules as we're sort of chugging along, but for the time being, that's what we're going to be focused on. Okay. Okay, so let's continue. So we're going to forward time until. Well, we're just going to go to the next session. I think it's how easy to do that. There we go. Cool. Okay, so we're at the next session. So as we why is, even though we have, oh, I want to do that, even though we've cleared the indicator, okay, I'm not too sure why that indicator is still there despite the fact that it's been cleared and we only actually have 2 indicators on here. Let's just save that. Let's just refresh this, see what happens. Okay. Right, okay. I think that's better. Okay. Let's get rid of these. Got ourselves some space. So we can see on NQ, sorry, not NQ, on ES and YM, prices traded above the previous day's high. And on ES and NQ, we have traded above the aligned daily high. Now, for whatever reason, with the quarterly theory indicator, it doesn't appear to be showing the monthly cycle and above. Not too sure why. We can just test that again. I'm just going to make sure that there isn't another one. Let's see what this is. Yeah, I don't know what that is. So just going to get rid of that. So yeah, we have, but as you can see, there's no data. Oh, hang on. We might be in luck here we might be in luck. Ah, we're in luck, so we don't want that. We want that. Interesting. Okay, so This one, we want that. 15. This one, I think that's fine. Not sure which way it is, but it's fine. Okay, and the final one. Okay, so that's what we want. So these as defaults. Yeah, we want it visible on all. Okay, that's what we got. Oh, that's not good, is it? Oh. Why does it not show on the daily? Which is, yeah, this is extremely strange to me that really strange. Oh, max days to render. Ah, does it only show? Let's just put that as 120. Let's see what happens. Still doesn't bleed and show it on. So that's the day that we're on. So it's not casting forward. Is it? Yeah, not. That's better, but automatic looks pretty. Yeah, I mean, we can see the monthly. Okay, we can work with this. We can work with this. I'm not gonna spend too much time. I'm not sure why we get the gap there. I would say that that's probably some form of issue in coding, but yeah, okay. So we'll leave it as that. I'm happy enough with that. We can yeah, we got the yearly cycle, monthly cycle here, which to me so that's a weekly cycle. Monthly, I'm not sure why that is. by and large is probably correct. I'm not going to get too caught up on this type of stuff. I mean, yes, we do have some highs and lows in there. We're just going to concentrate on this. So, okay, so we'll keep that for the time being. Let's not get too bogged down in that detail, although the detail does matter. Like I said, we've seen that the aligned high, which is here, which is a key high in relation to the monthly cycle. It's a key high. However, it's not the main high on NQ. Certainly not the main high. In fact, I might just get the indicator up. I'm not so worried about. Do that. You know what? Change my mind. Let's just put it on all of them. That's how I usually run it. So let's just keep it consistent. Okay. So now we're looking at the weekly cycle here. Okay. So price is above the true week open, which is what we want to see for shorts. It's purged this whole high daily, which, as I said, from a monthly cycle standpoint, it's it's probably Q4, but we'll just keep it at that for the time being. Okay, so jumping down to the hourly, just before the New York session is going to commence, we have to have a clear idea on, on ultimately what we want to see. We believe this high is going to get ran. Now we know that there's SMT at the highs anyway between this yearly cycle, whereby it's again hard to discern with this, but we've got SMT here. See here. This high here has been purged. Okay. So we've got SMT there, but like I said, fundamentally we want to be concentrating on the weekly cycle. So because NQ relative to the 4 hour did not have a clear high, so if we think from here, you know what, let's where's the label gone? Gee whiz. It's the problem when you use indicators. Sometimes oh no, we didn't. No, we can't even format the damn thing. Which I just don't ever understand why. Let's just refresh the screen, see if it does anything. Yeah, these are kind of the teething issues that you kind of want to avoid when you're backtesting. Right, let's go to the 1 hour or the 4 hour. 1 hour. Do we get the label? Like, if you don't get the label, how are you supposed to actually working much better, in all fairness. That's the yearly cycle, monthly cycle. So we had the from here, week 5. This is actually I wanted to get rid of the yearly, but now that it's working, I'm gonna leave it. Okay, we'll leave it. Right. So again, looking at the daily cycle, which doesn't actually line up very well. Right, that should go from 6 to 12, 12 to, you know what I mean? Not lining up properly, but it's neither here or there for now. Let's just go. Okay. Right. So, as I said, looking at the on the H4, NQ did not form a swing high, so we didn't have a clear swing high. So looking at the monthly cycle, which, as we've just alluded to, does not appear to show up on the it's probably sort of hard to determine. But anyway, sorry, I'm sort of just trying to get my bearings around on this, but we're getting there. Yeah, as I said, we could see SMT form between this cycle's high, that and this one here. Would then need to see a hourly investigation candle. So we're gonna forward to let's go to 15-minute. So news embargo about here. I'm just gonna actually put in a line there, not that one. Not that one. Although I'm gonna have that without. So verse, yeah. We'll call this news embargo. So we're gonna have that as the 8th news embargo. Okay. Don't actually need to quote anything. So I'm going to speed up time up until that point. Jeez. I'm just going to stop it there. Right, going to the hourly. What do we have? So if we're looking at this period here, it's 5 o'clock. It's 6 o'clock. So that's technically the start of the New York Open session high. London high, technically the highest point was this one. So again, it's not a swing. It's not something that I'd want to use. I'm just confirming that 6:15. So yeah, not something that I want to use. So currently, although favouring shorts despite the institutional order flow being bullish, I'm not really too interested in anything. So I can play on. Should we get some volatility now at the news embargo? Not so much. Right, I am going to mark this off though as so H1. It's still important to note and we want to identify that here. That suggests to me the highs are going to get run out, which is probably obvious to everybody, but just no, I don't want it there yet. I should. I want it here though. Okay. So it's BSL H1 because we don't know yet whether it's the New York high. Equities open. So interesting that equities open. We're looking at the hourly. It's above large wick. Don't like large wicks. Like that. IQ. Trying to below its 2 week open. However, the other members are not. So it doesn't present high probability conditions. Give me a second. Okay. So we know we've got news. Prior to the purge. So CM15 there. For now. So there's actually jolts and asympto could be quite volatile at 10. I do think this is a very shallow run. Wanted to see something far more significant. YM has done that. Okay. Okay. So NQ. But the reason why it's low probability right now is because ES and YM are above the true week open. NQ is now traded below it. So in order for me to frame a high probability position, all three needed to be above the true week open. So it's not as favourable for me right now. So I'm going to go to 10 o'clock. I want to see a more deeper run above the. Maybe not. Question is whether we. Why did that continue? Not sure. I'll drop to the M5. Let's see what we got. We have a PSP candle. Market's currently out of sync. So we've got 4-hour PSP. Do we have a 1-hour PSP? Which we do. So I'm actually going to draw us into the 1-hour PSP. That is actually way more pertinent. Just me. Okay, so actually we want to see the PSP between, so it's this candle here, but like I said, this is a PSP candle. It's not a position swing point, it's a precision candle. What's that? What is that? What is a position swing point? We've seen it respect, traded down, traded back up, didn't breach consequent equivalent, so this one's certainly to go lower. Back into the 5 minute, we can see within the the hourly precision swing point. Like I said, I'm not too keen on how shallow the run is, but I wanted to see a far more deeper run above here. Got the position swing point. That's the wrong one. There you go. Position swing point. That, not sure if it's traded through here. Let's check what time's this candle. So it's 9 to 5. Confirmed it and then traded below. So drop it down to the 5 minute. What have we got? So we've got a 5 minute fair value gap. Okay, in displacement. The bodies of the candles are closing. Are. So what we're going to do is, there is SMT at the highs. That we do know. So let's see M5 again. Sorry. Yes, we've got the body closure below, occurred at 10. Technically, if we wanted to take a short here with the PSP urging, so from a higher time frame standpoint, if we're looking at this, we have SMT. This is SMT above the old high, right? We've had the PSP candle. Thank you. Okay, we've had the PSP candle, which has been confirmed. Okay. And if we were going to, so key price levels here, highs there, we're inside of that. We've had respect of CB straight away. could make a short stop loss there. Now if we go to the H4, which is important, we can see on the H4 from there, it's already traded through. Okay. Okay, so back to the 5. So is a trade down to here even worth it? Why not? Let's go to the hourly second. The hourly's not the this one for I think we SMT occur to that low. So if we take a fruit from the high to the low, and we use a discount like that. This one, which is just inside, could well be actually get rid of that. Sorry. Okay. So the lower fair value gap, we believe, could well target. Okay, let's try. So look at that. So we're going to be able to ascertain let's just check SL. Yeah, that's 2 ticks. Let's come out. Okay. Okay, hold on. So 8 points. So we're looking at 8-point stop loss. Yeah, which is 3.8. Yeah. I think. Okay. So let's market, save in journal, and then we can see what we've yeah, So our time frame PD array is the odd high. Yeah, but we'll add some notes to that. It's not so much that. Oh, yeah, we've got the H1 purge, as we can see, of the BSL there. We've got stack TOs. We have got that in the lower time frame, which is what we wanted to see. So required. Okay, so for information, of high probability shorts. Okay, so I've noted the high time frame SMT. Now again, this is the lowest of high time frame Kraken correlation types. And we've coupled it with PSP, so it increases its probability. We've had the H1 liquidity purge, which was important. So yeah, we've engaged the market, and then within the PSP, we've had the 5 minute BC, which was respected. Ideally, we want to see price trade below and close below the 15-minute inversion fair value gap. If we can see that. What we also need to be mindful of, which I'm just going to go and double down now, is NQ has got some room to its BISI, and that's, I believe that's its daily BISI, if I recall. Yeah. So if we're looking at the same range as on ES, so if we take from the high down to the low here, that's the key liquidity pool really is there. So it's just something to monitor. So we drop down to the 5, and again, if this doesn't pan out, then it's something to document in terms of this type of trade. Now, you could argue this is a slight bit of ill discipline. Now, I did play SMT that we will take SMTs. However, you could argue that this doesn't meet the criteria, but if it doesn't, then we know for certain this is not something we're going to use. So we're going to go with 5-minute candles. We're into the trade. Okay, that's a problem there. It's disrespected the BISI 500, the M5 BISI. So that, if we go back to the 15-minute, we probably find it respected 15-minute. So these are key insights to take. So if price doesn't violate the M15 fair value gap on the M15 TF, prior to trade. It's down sidelines. So what we're saying here is we needed to wait for confirmation of this being violated to confirm lower prices. Now it could still go lower, but the reality is it's going to take out the highs. So let's just see. I expect the highs to be taken. Okay. Right, we're on the M15. Let's higher this candle. Oh, that candle was 06.25, so we're going to come down to 06.25. Yeah, we're going to come down to 06.25. Okay. And so we can see, if we just scroll out to the 4 hour, that's getting to its previous day low. So when NQ gets to its previous day low, this trade needs to be at break even. Okay, so I'm monitoring NQ here. We want to see NQ trade to and through and close below here with displacement. That will confirm that we're likely going to see low prices, but nonetheless this will be moved to break even. Okay. Okay, so 5 minutes. Okay, so 4825. 4825. So we're at break even. Okay. Now we have. Let's go check. Just going to check the. I want to see an M5, so we can see. Bear with me, I will be right back. Okay, so I'm back. So the trade's been moved to BE. Now here, what I'm marking up is, let me just note this. This is a This is an important CB for any sort of mistrade or continuations or whatnot. So this CB is formed inside of the 1.5 and the 2. So if we missed continuation there, just bear with me. There was reaccumulation here as well, although that was the previous day, but we could, let's just make a note of this. What day? There we go. And I'll explain why I'm noting this fair value gap. Because on the way up, we've also got this one here, which we could argue is equally as important. This one, because price reaccumulated in this before it took out this high. Price reaccumulated in this one before it took out this short-term high. That's why I'm marking up this one here. Okay. So on the way down, we could see a level of support for lower prices from this one if the market is in fact looking to target there. So going back to the 5 minute, we are in this trade. We've taken things down to break even, so we should be able to rest easy. This is an opportunity to, if we hadn't got in where we got in, so we got in inside the 1 to 1.5. So why is that important? Oh dear. Let's miss that. Journal is empty. Just pull and save it prior to moving on with the trade. But you can't. So I'm just checking. Doesn't look like you can just manually add to your journal. Okay, I didn't click save, so I haven't got this journal saved, which is a problem. So, all right, what time are we? Okay, so we've probably got a macro kicking in at a certain point. Just checking that no ICT macros or anything along those lines. All right, let's go. So we're currently running 1100 in profits, stops at break even, which is good. What I want to actually do, and I'm going to have a look at this on the 15, because it's probably easier. So that one, yeah, so we logically move that stops to break even there. Still that candle. Still that candle. So the next logical low is going to be this one. And this is just, in fact, we are going use H1 for the next logical low, which we know it's here, hence why moving to break even. But look, we're nowhere near the previous day's low. We're only just coming into contact with the previous day's high, and we did displace through it, so there's a chance that this is going higher. However, we potentially have SMT, but ES is not below the true week open, so I'm not looking for any sequential SMT at that point in time until it trades below, hence why we've got this level in here. So we're going to go back to the 5. We could be taken over break even at this point, but we're still on sea lower prices. And that is perfect. So I'm going to see, this is the problem with let's protect position me. See, the problem is I want to I actually want to take off some of the position and move down my stop loss, but you can't. Do you know what I mean? Essentially, my stop loss should move to this candle here, which is so annoying. Okay. So we're running currently at if we get to we have been past 2, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, let's just, I know what we'll do. We're just gonna draw line for our stop. If price comes up to this level here, then we essentially close our trade. Okay. I'm just gonna make a note. Okay. Right. So far so good. Now I'm going to drop this down to the low of the Sibi because I actually want to partial some at the high of the Sibi. Okay. Let's continue. Oof. I'm taken out. There we go. Oh. There you go. You can't have it all, can you? There you go. Alright. So I would love to journal this. Okay, so when the BCM15 has not been taken out, it's important to note that this is an aggressive entry. Price could purge the high, although the market may be balanced and PSP H1 confirmed should indicate lower prices. Okay, cool. Now I really do want to take a picture of this, so I'm just going to copy the image. Let's see if we can journal. Oh, that's let's go up. Yeah. Okay. Well, we've got journal down here. It's just it's not the same as not, having it in the charts. So that was our position. I'm pretty confident that if we just venture out into probably to the hourly, that price is quite possibly, well, technically speaking, we got down to the level that we wanted. Yeah, we got down to the level that we wanted within a discount below the 2-week open. So we have to look at that and say that is a pretty darn good trade. Pretty darn good trade. So it's a shame we can't note anywhere, because it doesn't appear that we can just sort of add to journal, which is a shame. It just says that, yeah, which is an absolute shame that you can't journal after the fact, which makes no sense to me, but let's have a look. No, we don't do any of that. We don't need any of that. We're using Forex Factory anyway. So yeah, that is said position. What I'm going to quickly do is I'm just going to see if there's a way to journal. Just have a quick look. Okay, let me have a quick look at this, and I will So it doesn't look like you can do it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place a limit. So we're going to place an order. Sell limit. Okay. Save journal. Order's not complete. Alright. What I'm going to do is take this off. So it was 2.88. Just gonna I'm not going to take that off actually. What I'm going to do is just create one here. Yeah, like let's create like that there. Okay. Place order, so that should take all the information there. Sell limit. Okay. Now I'm going to journal. And oopsie daisy. Oh dear. Okay, and we are going to add the screenshot. Right, and then we had that, we had the stack TOs because we were above the true day open and true week open. We had the liquidity purge where the market purged above the BSL H1 at the highs. We had SMT, so
this chart.
oh
And from there
dear.
we can go ahead and click save after.
Keyboard is connected to the wrong laptop, which is annoying. Right, at the highs, I noted the high time frame SMT C with NQ plus with NQ after the market had purged a H1. Let's get it right. BSL H1 liquidity pool. In addition, after the purge, I noted an PSP H1 which was confirmed and validated. This set the stage for lower prices. Let me just put a note. This is for the previous trade which resulted in a 2.88R win. Okay. 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 We could argue that the low time frame PD array was the persistent swing point candle. The market just making a note following the okay, so I just want to note within the position swing point H1 prior to its confirmation, the market had displaced lower relative to the M5 TF whilst forming and rebalancing balancing an M5 SIBI M5 I engaged on that candle close. This was an aggressive entry within the 1 to 1.5 STDV as the M15FG. Sorry, the BC M15 had not been violated. Okay. You know, my stop loss was placed at a good place. Now, one of the things I don't understand is this is not actually allowing me to save it. Which is disappointing. So I'm going to have to think outside the box here. What to do. Okay. It doesn't actually, I'm not sure why. Oh, that'd be why. Okay. Fine. Save. Right, so I'm going to now close this. Yeah, there we go. So we can view that. There we go. Alright. Good. So we got the trade. Get rid of that. There's this trade here. And that is that. So let's continue through till, as you can see, we're in the macro, hence the displacement lower. But let's continue. 5 minute. See where we go. Do we go lower, which I envisage we will. Yeah, so it'd have been this low. If this low was purged, then stop loss would have been brought down. Yeah, we can continue. comes into the fair value gap here, will give the indication that we could be targeting these lows. Let's see how it trades in this fair value gap here. Let's see, we rebalanced it. So we're going potentially higher. We'll see how price trades into this one. Probably think lower. Time are we? Lunch. So we should see continuation low left. A double top could be targeted. It's also left. There you go. So at that point, stop loss. The stop loss would have still been here. Would have partialed off some of the position because we had got to a certain point, so would have partialed off some, left the runner. If we go to the M15, you can see here, there's the low, and then price comes to take out the low, so the stop loss would have been put to here. And we're into the key area. So, ladies and gents, we'll leave that part of the session there. Going to take a break and come back a little bit later on to trade and backtest the rest of the week. But in terms of realised P&L, 4,312.50, which is a fantastic start. 2.88%. 1% of the account there. So we're going to continue later with the aim of hitting, obviously, what the challenge amount would be, and then we're going to continue to backtest. The key for this backtesting session is defining the entry criteria. What we did here was a perfect indication of what we've outlined based on an hourly confirmation, which was the hourly PSP. Once that was validated and confirmed, then we wanted to look for signatures within that price action to determine whether price was supporting lower prices. We had two pieces of evidence, which was one, NQ clearly had a desire to trade lower. Two, obviously we had the high time framework behind us. Three, we saw that ES had repriced to and rebalanced the CIBI. And five, there was displacement there indicating lower prices. However, obviously the area of concern was the BISI M15 had price closed below that. That would have given added confirmation and confidence that price was going to trade lower. But we took the more aggressive approach by engaging earlier within the 1 to 1.5 standard deviation area. Price did come back and close above, which in my opinion would have been indication that we're likely to see the highs go. Framework of the trade was to the downside. Price obviously reversed after closing above. It reversed, actually traded into a volume imbalance. But the candles did not violate the volume imbalance, which was good. And then traded lower. So overall, piecing that together was really good. Happy with that trade, and then ultimately we were targeting the lower of the H4 BISIs, which was the one below the true week open, and also within a discount market. So good start. I'm going to take a break, come back a bit later on, and we will look to trade the following day. So we had obviously ISM jolts. Tomorrow is FOMC minutes. So the likelihood is we may trade the morning prior to the PM session. We'll have a look, but there's a heightened chance that we may just see chop beforehand for the market to ultimately take out any buyers and sellers prior to the FOMC minutes. However, it is the FOMC minutes which is the least volatile of the two FOMC news, high impact news events. And then obviously we've got non-farm payroll on Friday. So with the unemployment rate, so Friday's is definitely going to be a no trade day. Definitely, because we're not trading non-farm payroll. So we're going to see tomorrow, Thursday, with ISM. We'll have a look and then sort of take it from there. So I'm going to leave you guys now and return back in a few hours where we'll do part 2 of today's session. Until then, see you shortly.